All right, I want to go through some devotional books, kind of a daily reading plan. Run it by you quick. A lot of these books you can just get them on apps, so there's no reason to purchase some of them. But just want to make you aware of them. And a lot of you wouldn't have time like I do right now for doing all these devotionals, so I wouldn't want to burden anybody with this stuff. But maybe just one of the things you'd like to add to your daily devotions. So one of them here I got from my son, my oldest son, who's a priest, the monastic diurnal. So this is awesome. I just love it. So the diurnal means it's all the offices except for matins. So I only do like one office a day usually, sometimes two, but that's very helpful. And another thing, I always like to read a Bible commentary, just a little bit every day, maybe only 3 pages. This is kind of like, just think of it as a year-long thing. So this is an awesome series. This one is on Sirach, the Catholic Commentary on Sacred Scripture. So you can get these at Baker Books for slightly marred at like 50% off. So Baker Academic. Just love these commentaries, Catholic commentaries. And what else do we have here? This was something else. And again, my son tipped me off on this, that ESV, this is by the English Standard Version, Catholic edition by Augustine Institute. So ESV is just a wonderful translation. If you had the RSV1 or the RSV2 Catholic edition, they're so similar. I mean, even the NASB 95 update is so similar, but of course, it's not a Catholic edition. But anyway, great translation. So reading this, but read it through in a year according to a plan. So this is from Ascension Press, this Bible reading plan. And the fun thing is you always get a little check mark each day. So if you live for check marks like I do, and it really gives you an adrenaline rush to get one of those, then you get check marks every day that you do it. So that's awesome. And then my wife and I having a little quiet time together, prayer time, and it helps to have a little structure to it. So, for one thing, there's the Catechism of the Council of Trent. So again, we're just going through this in a year. So, it looks kind of thick, but when you're going through it in a year, I mean, it's like 630 pages there. And for a little bit of devotions, edification, it's, so nicely written, so interesting. And then another one along with that. This one is a really special. Divine Intimacy by Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene, OCD. And I don't know why they had to say that he suffered from OCD on there, but anyway, I'm recently Catholic, 11 years, so you'll forgive my ignorance. Fantastic devotions. So, and this is for going through the Bible in a year. So it keeps you, going along with the calendar, the church calendar. So right now it's the last week of Ordinary Time, just before Advent, where we really think about Christ's coming again. So I just can't stress enough what a wonderful devotional book this is. As a Protestant, I used to like to listen or read A.W. Tozer, and I came from the Christian Missionary Alliance, and a lot I respect from there, and a lot I benefited from there. And they would hearken back somewhat to the Christian mystics like Teresa of Avila and John of the Cross. But anyway, this guy does, but with a lot more depth. So much recommended there. This is something else. Again, I have to thank my oldest son, the priest, Father Nathaniel, for this. The ESV version, Catholic, but the CTS, New Daily Missal, People's Edition, with new ESV CE lectionary and Order of the Mass in Latin and English. So this is stinking cool. I think it came from England, But, so this is, in England and Wales and Scotland. So, anyway, Catholic Truth Society from London. That's how you get a hold of that. So nicely laid out, written. Love the translation. And it's the whole missal together. So normally you're used to the St. Joseph's where you have 3 missals, one just for Sundays and the other 2 for throughout the year, divided into 1 and 2. And then for the Sunday missals, I don't know, most people don't care, but the corny pictures in there just really annoy me. It's like this says early 1970s all over it. And, while there was some good music put out in the 1970s, I gotta admit, didn't appreciate the pictures in the missal, though. Okay, and then to have, especially in the times we're in after the Charlie Kirk, I take it as a martyrdom, certainly an assassination. I think kind of like a public declaration, official beginning of the war on Christians in America. It's been going on in a cold way for a long time, but anyway, the Roman martyrology. I mean, that used to be, part of the daily office. Was that Prime, I think? But anyway, so this is, for every day, it's just got like a paragraph or 2 there every day for reading about a martyr. But, it really helps in the times that we're living in. That's why I'm doing this too, is just to encourage you to, whatever books it is you pick for devotions, and I don't mean just devotions, there's mental prayer, right? Of course, you need to have a personal relationship with Jesus. No kidding. A lot of people seem to think that's like a Protestant thing, not a Catholic thing. That's absurd. I mean, if maybe unfortunately a lot of Catholics have lived it that way, but a lot of Protestants have lived it that way too, where it's just a traditional thing, it's just something they go to, part of being part of their family. But anyway, the mental prayer, of course you don't give that up. And do I pray the rosary every day? Well, yeah. I took my lamp down, there it is. So anyway, I mean, even just a simple rosary, oftentimes I'll, maybe like get up at 3 or 4 a.m. and can't sleep, and just pray through the rosary there, and pray with whatever's on my mind. And so you could turn that into a perfunctory thing, but don't do it that way. Duh, So it's a great help. So just like I think I've used that analogy before. You have a skeleton, so there's a structure there, right? But then there's the flesh, and that's a lot more malleable. Mostly water, right? And then there's the spirit, not flesh. So all of this together, they're all part to form you, the person. And so the same thing with your devotional life. I'm pointing out like the rosary, that's structured. There's these books that you read through. But you know what? You pause in between things and pray, or pray before and after also, all of them. So it is spiritual, it is structured. We're not Gnostics, right? It's not like we're thinking matter, bad, spirit, good. So same thing with your devotional life. Structure, yeah, good. Only structure? Well, that would be a corpse, right? Like a corpse without the spirit. That's not good. Only the spirit? Well, then not the body? Okay, well then that's waiting for the resurrection, right? That's not the way God made us. Same thing with the spiritual life. So, and then finally, just to have a little bit of reading time. And I mean, I read other things too. I'm reading about orchestration right now for music, but I mean, devotional kind of reading or spiritual kind of reading. So, like this one has really got me now. Elizabeth Ann Seton, the first American-born saint. So I went and visited her place there, and anyway, so I'm just reading through that, getting there. But even just a little bit every day. I don't care if it takes me 3 months to get through it or so. That's fine. I'm reading it for my own edification. And you can, break all this stuff up. So maybe like I'll go to Eucharistic Adoration. We're going to go again later today, Thanksgiving Day. So maybe there I'll read my Bible and my breviary and maybe the Bible commentary in times of just silence and prayer. And like I said, maybe in the middle of the night, pray the rosary. And then when my wife and I get up before she goes to work earlier than I do, and I teach, so my schedule sometimes is all over the place. Well, anyway, we get up at probably like 6 a.m., and so we'll have, maybe just, even if it's just 20 minutes, half an hour of reading the devotional books that I talked about there. And then later in the day, maybe I'll have a little bit of time just reading from the Missal and the Martyrology. And so anyway, that's just kind of a quick recap of Bible books that I'm enjoying, or devotional books, and some with my wife and some alone. And just encourage you to maybe check some of these books out. But again, wouldn't want to make you feel like you got to spend a lot of money, because a lot of the stuff you can just get an app, a Catholic app that will have a lot of the stuff right on there. The breviary and the different Bible translations and the Missal and the Martyrology, and so you wouldn't really have to buy any books with the great Catholic apps that are out there. All right, well, that's enough for a recap here. Happy Thanksgiving. Got a lot to be thankful for.